in this conversation, we're going to be real, like honest, because we've fallen short, and we're going to tell you what we've done that's right. And there's going to be no shame and no guilt in here for the mama heart that's going, I can't do that, or I can't do that, because there's something that you can do. And God just calls us to show up for our kids.
Yep.
And in our home.
Hey, housewives, come on in. You know the dirty dishes are still in the sink from yesterday and the laundry is still in the basket. Pop your AirPods in and make yourself at home here.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Tori.
And we are
your Unlikely Housewives.
Stepping out in faith and believing that God calls the unlikely, we are here to show you the appreciation and validation you deserve, lead you to authentic relationships, and release you of believing the cultural lies to restore your faith and wellness.
Pull up those high-waisted yoga pants, tighten your top knot, and reheat your coffee for the third time. Turn up the volume, and let's go.
Hey, housewives, welcome back.
Welcome back. Hey.
We are excited to do another episode, just the two of us, where we dive into, things that we're just these real worn out women right here talking about the hard stuff and bringing you the real talk.
Can I jump in here as a 2000s, 90s baby for a moment? And
2000s, 90s?
Well, I was in the 90s. I was 4 starting the 90s.
Okay, so 90s into the 2000s?
Yes.
Okay.
But when you said just the two of us, I so wanted, if I had any singing voice at all, I wanted to start singing the Will Smith redo of Just the Two of Us.
Mm-hmm.
We can make it if we try.
There
just
you go.
the two of us. I had to
see. You had a singing voice. You
a
just
little
nailed
bit.
It. Good.
It's amazing what you can do with auto tune. Thank you, Britney Spears. Oh, yes. Okay. So we had a really fun experience last night. We had the opportunity to have over for dinner another family that has an older daughter who's in college, and she's super active in sports. And my girls just really look up to her. Mm-hmm. And so she's like a little celebrity to them because, she happened to go to their school. And so they have a lot of commonalities and can, they know the teachers, and she's like, oh yeah, I had so. And so it was a school night, but we just had this opportunity to have them over for dinner. And I think my girls are going to be on a literal high for the rest of the year, because it was like, oh my gosh, and it was just as simple again as having another family over for dinner.
Yeah.
Because towards the end, I think the girls wanted to show her their rooms. And then before I knew it, they were upstairs playing volleyball in Andrew and I's bedroom, bump set spike. And she was like, I hope we didn't break anything. I was like, wouldn't be the first time that some kind of sport has broken something in this house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, they just had the greatest time. Now, granted, I don't recommend 10:30 bedtimes after that. On a school night, they were little monsters trying to get up this morning and and I was like, okay, I'm going to pretend not to notice this. But it just brought up the topic about how, was it something simple? I mean, it was totally simple, inviting another family over for dinner.
Right.
Did Andrew and I we cleaned the house and straightened up. It took,
it took a little bit on yours and Andrew's part.
Right. To make it, and scheduling, right. And then, and cook dinner. That was it. But we were talking about how gosh, I want to provide more of those for our kids. And we were talking about it, and that it's the experiences, it's the moments or the opportunities to meet people and that is over the gosh darn the stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's what you're talking about is just how they were feeling. They were on cloud 9.
Yeah.
And it was so simple. It was, just being encouraged and inspired by someone who's a little bit older. And we feel that way when, we meet someone that is like an author of a book we've read. I mean, we've even met some incredible people as guests on here, and we feel that excitement over an experience of just talking to someone.
Yeah.
And it's how you feel. It's not what you have out of it. And that's really what came out of that conversation that you guys had last night. And we just got to talking about, the little experiences that we do that mean something to our kids.
Yeah.
And it's hard because we want our kids to be happy. We want them to have everything. Mamas, there's a lot of grace out there for us for when we have fallen short and bought it anyway, because we either felt guilty or we were like, you know what, this is just going to be better. It's going to shut them up. It's going to make them happy. They're going to stop asking about it.
Or even the fact that we sometimes will we cave simply because they're like, well, all my friends have it. And you're like, okay, if they don't have this, then they're going to be made fun of or they're going to be left out. And you want to make sure that they're on the group text with everybody. And then, well, I don't have, and you go through that mom scenario of like, okay, well, I don't want to be the reason my kids not in the group, the know of everything because I can't do this for them.
But we're also like in this conversation, we're going to be real, like honest because we've fallen short and we're going to tell you what we've done that's right. And there's going to be no shame and no guilt in here for the mama heart that's going, I can't do that or I can't do that, because there's something that you can do. And God just calls us to show up for our kids.
Yep.
And in our home. And he does not call us to meet their every need. Well, yes, food, sleep, water, right?
Right.
Taking care
of
the
basics.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But it's not the things. And go ahead.
And technically, we don't even have to meet their food needs. Jesus is the bread of life and their living water. So really, we can leave that up to Jesus. So that's how I feel.
I mean, yes and no. They might get a little hungry.
Maybe. That's fine. That's fine. So then I would do better and I'll feed you. No. Okay. So you have done these rite of passage trips with your kiddos. I know one of them is still in queue because it's coming up. A couple of things have happened since then. Yeah. So grace for that. But you did these really cool one-on-one trips with you and your husband and then said child. So talk about those two and why you did those.
Well, for us, it was more or less, we're a big family. We have 4 kids and our kids don't get individual time a lot. They just don't. When they were younger, there was always someone, right? They had to go with me. Dad was at work and in order to go to one activity, everybody had to go. And we have tried and have failed. We need to do better at doing the one-on-one dates. We get them when it's like, oh, I'm going to drive you to soccer. And then after I'm going to just pick up dinner with you and come home. So we squeeze it in, but we're not as intentional about the one-on-one things. But we wanted to make sure that middle school, like right after elementary and before middle school, we took the kids and went on just a little weekend trip where we had all the conversations, the ones that, maybe are a little awkward. We're going to talk about, sex.
Sex, for those that can't spell.
We're going to make sure. At this point, I think we've covered that now.
We know how that actually works. Got it.
But it was like, especially with the first one, we're like, okay, we're going to cover all the topics. We're going to talk about bullying. We're going to talk about friendships. We're going to talk about responsibilities. We're going to talk about your walk with the Lord individually, just all the things. And there was no like agenda. It was just that naturally we wanted to be able to like pour into our kids and have one-on-one time while having fun, right? Like, and having a really great time. And we did something specific for each, the top 2 so far. We haven't done the third one yet, and he's a little bit behind, but COVID threw in there, not being able to travel and all the things. And so we got a little behind.
Did you hear that RNP, the top 2? You guys are the top 2. I take that as you guys are the favorites.
Just so you know, they are the top as in oldest.
Yes, I know.
And mind you, I have text group chats and I have top 2, top 3, bottom 2, bottom 3.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I have to text specific kids for when I'm picking up and who's at school and what's doing whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes. That's how I can like find them quick and I don't have to go and add my kid every time to a text string.
See, and this is why I want to say stop at 2 people. But that's if you've already gone there, you've already gone there. I can't help you. So go ahead.
But yeah, so those trips we do, it is just the one and only one-on-one with each of them. It's really awesome. But the one thing that I do want to encourage, if you can't do that, it's really okay. Sometimes your kids just want to go grab a Starbucks and sit and talk. And I know that sounds weird, but they will.
It's
either food or drink. Got to have that combo in there.
Yes. And I would even say sometimes it's not even like going, whatever, Starbucks or wherever their favorite drink place is, but going and then getting back in the car and sitting side by side, because I have found that, wow, they are so much more open when you are not sitting across the table from them, looking at them eye to eye and just 100%. Being like, and Really? I mean, if they're looking for it and you're looking for it in the car, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They were the stage where they were in the back seat.
Yep.
I mean, that was even better for some
My
conversations.
kids love to just drive and listen to music.
Yeah.
They go on drives on the weekends. It's a lot of gas, but
well, I was going to say, but they're at the point where they're at the page where they're driving now. That's freedom.
But even your middle schoolers would love for you to do that.
Oh,
get in the car and just go and drive and be like, hey, let's just go for a drive tonight. They're like, what? We can leave the house? Like, it's just something
fun
Mm-hmm.
there. Well, that is definitely something that I love how you do that, the one-on-ones with the kiddos. And then something that we did a couple of years ago that the girls loved was we planned for their Christmas gift was a road trip to do some fun things that they knew and that they were going to be excited about. So we gave them actually little pebbles that we had engraved, and they spelled out all the locations, which was really fun. So it was like a little puzzle that they had to do because they were like, what are these rocks? And I was like, what does it spell? And so that was the spring break that we took a road trip to. We did Laurel, Mississippi,
What was there?
Hometown, which is Ben and Aaron, the HGTV show.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have all their little stores, and it's a very chic location. And so we stayed downtown. It was so fun. And I think my girls like to see things on TV and be like, oh my gosh, I've been there. It's real.
Yeah.
Just the little thing of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did that. And then we did Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little chilly.
It is. Spring break. We tried it twice.
Ooh.
Nope. Just still too cold in March.
Yep. But it was a different experience for the beach. And so we did that for a couple of days. And then we drove on the way down to Florida State and stayed for a weekend and watched softball games. And the girls loved it. They got to meet some players. And I mean, it just, again, the whole experience, and they got to walk the campus. We're a Florida State family. And so they've heard of Florida State their entire lives, Yeah. And so we took a picture in front of the sorority house that grandma was at. And so we have that picture. And then, and all the softball opportunities you can. And when you're there, you buy all the swag you possibly can, because you can't, then you have to buy it online, right?
Yeah,
so might as well. And that was something that was really fun. I mean, it was a 10-day road trip. I mean, that was really, and I was a little nervous that we would not come home with all said people that we left with, and that I might leave one or...
Road trips are a little exhausting for
Yeah. And even now, I mean, as a kid, I remember road trips. I would just plug in my...
Yeah, you remember looking out the window.
Well, I had a CD player.
Oh, okay.
I had a CD player. And because I was an only child, my parents would take the back of the SUV and lay all the seats down. Mm-hmm. And then I would have a sleeping bag, and I had a little pallet in the back.
I mean, you didn't have to buckle?
I didn't have to buckle. No, I didn't. And I all the way from Texas to Angel Fire, New Mexico. It was wonderful.
That's crazy.
It was, those were wild days.
I used to crawl up into the back window and take my naps while we road tripped.
What kind of car? Because you had to have a shelf, right?
Yeah.
The back would...
Yeah, there was. It was a bit, it was about, I don't remember what it was.
And then...
I would crawl back up into the back seat went up, and then there was this
little shelf.
But then you just crawl up there.
But Dad, who's driving, couldn't see in the rearview mirror. Nope, didn't care. Just saw his baby girl. Yep, that's all. All right,
that, and we had an Astro van.
Yes, the Astro van.
Yeah, that was a good road trip.
We did. I remember on the way to camping trips, we took the Astro van.
Ours was green, and it looked like the dark green. It looked like the Mr. T van. It was amazing.
Ours was light blue, and my dad, because he would make deliveries, he only had the two front chairs in, so the third row was always gone.
Yeah,
and so when we had more kids coming in the car with us, we would just all sit in the back, low, no seat belts. Oh my gosh. And we would all roll around as the car turns and try to knock each other over. Yeah.
Other things I would never let my children know.
No kidding. You're like, wow, Dad.
Isn't it weird how we've totally flipped? We're talking about experiences, and listen to us. We're talking about experiences of what we did as kids. And we didn't even mean to do this.
Yes, this is true.
We were just talking about taking your kids and going and do something. And then here's our experiences. This is what we remember.
Yeah.
This is our point.
Exactly. Isn't it? I mean, the toys, the gifts.
Mhm.
I love you, mom and dad, but things I just don't.
I know.
But I remember the trips. I remember the road trips or the experiences or, oh my gosh, my parents taking me geocaching all the time. And I did not want to go. I remember going to, we did a long weekend. And again, this is Texas. So you go to some small Texas town and it's one place, it was the Tomato Festival, I think. And then
they took you to a tomato festival?
And then
we went.
I do remember it. And then we also went to a blueberry festival. And I think that was in Nacogdoches. And my dad and I stayed in line. It was the town's fundraiser that they made blueberry pancakes for everybody. And so my dad and I stayed in line for a ridiculously amount of time because we both wanted blueberry pancakes. I mean, if you're going to the blueberry festival, you're waiting in line for blueberry pancakes. And I remember that. I remember those moments and being like, why are we here? Because I was preteen or teenager at that point, and like, this is lame. Or what's the equivalent word now to lame? What do kids say now? Anything? You've got,
I think things are so lame.
They're still lame.
Okay,
that's
good
to know. Good to know. Good to know some things don't change. I can do that. I can work with that.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that we forget is that in scripture, specifically Matthew 6:19-21 talks about do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth. I mean, the things of this world, we will not take with us. And we will remember memories with our kids for far longer than the batteries are going to last.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that when you look back on the memories, even for us, when we were kids and with our families and like now with our kids and our husbands, it's about the relationships that are built during that time versus, what it is you even do. I mean, I can still recall one horrible vacation that we had, but it was one of the best from memories standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
And you're constantly growing, you're, engaging in hard times together. And that's where spiritual formation comes from, is when you're with your kids and you're like, this really sucks. But guess what? We don't have control over everything and we have to make the most of it. And, that's really where the experience comes from.
Yeah.
And the growth versus here's your toy, whatever, or here's this item or this dollar amount thing, go have fun. And then it's like you split.
Right. And as much as too is to your exact point is that even in obviously we want a family vacation to go well. If you're spending the time and effort and saving for it and investing, that's what you're doing, right? You want to have the picture perfect, quote unquote, family vacation. And so when it all goes up in flames, you're like, and it will
at some point,
just wait.
Not all of them.
You're pissed off because you're like, no, this was not at this, the kids aren't going to remember this as a great time. But, and they're probably not, but they're going to laugh about it potentially. For Thanksgiving, I don't know how, but somehow we have a connecting flight to get to when we fly out to see my parents. And our connecting flight was late. Well, no, our first flight was late to get to our second flight. And we are running right down the airport, Home Alone style of running, trying to catch the plane. And my dad has kindly told the stewardess multiple times, I'm just waiting for my daughter and my grand girls. And, they'll be here any minute. And they're like, oh, sure, sir. We'll hold the plane. Hold on, And then, he's just like, and I haven't seen them. And if they're not on the plane, I can't go back to my wife. Grandma's not going to let me come in the house if I don't have my daughter and my grandbabies. And then I come in and I'm 40 and my daughters come in that are my size, and they're like, oh, grandbabies, huh? And you're like, well, always a grandbaby, and, but they remember the fear
right?
of Juliet's
a missing a flight.
No. what's going to happen? Like, she hates the unknown and just so upset. And I was just like, it's okay. And I'm trying to calm her down on the tram because we're having to wait. And like, is this the exit? No, we have to wait for the next turn. Like, it's just absolute case. But then, like, yes, she remembers having to run to catch a flight and that her grandpa may have, misled the stewardess that she was a little bit younger, but it's fine. So, but I mean, again, the little mishaps, it's that what they remember.
Yep.
So what are some other things that you've done with your kiddos?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of when they were little too.
Well, when they're little, it's the story time.
Yeah, I think experiences were easier when they were little. It was like, let's go to the zoo, walk around and see the animals, and let's go to the art place, Wonder Scope, and do all those kinds of things. And I mean, we walked all the time. We walked all the time. Lots of hiking, lots of trails, lots of, and then, we did the geocaching and all the things just to be together doing something. Oh, yeah. We love sledding.
Also, the other thing that your family is really great is game night.
Yes, we love games and cards. We do that often.
You do that a lot. And I wish we could. We
also set the table and have family dinners.
That's amazing. What's that like? She's making fun of me because I set the table last night.
I was like, you should do that more often.
And I was like, why? I had people over yesterday. Like, what? This is kidding me? You guys don't know what these are, but my family used to eat on TV trays.
Oh.
Yes. And so that's basically what we do now in my family.
Yep.
We just kind of all gather and...
But you're gathering.
We're gathering.
Giving you a hard time.
We're gathering.
And it's only because you shared proof with me that you set the table. So
that's true. It is true.
You gave me ammunition.
I did. But I also texted my mom and I was like, aren't you proud? I still know how to set a table. I don't know when the last time I did this was. Probably Thanksgiving when you guys were here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Exactly. The other thing that our girls love music. And so when we have the opportunity or we know that there's a musical artist or something that's in the area or we can kind of plan around it, we love taking them to concerts and stuff because that's fun. That's fun for us too.
Yeah.
Like those.
And I would say even on that, they're not getting cheaper. Sadly, concerts are getting more expensive, just like everything else.
Yeah.
And we ask for that for Christmas from grandparents. My parents have always been super generous in that. And that's what they gift us is to do an experience with our kids. They've done it for years and they just give us money to go towards an experience. And we've done concerts a lot because that's something that we don't go out and do on our own because for 6 people, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's something that you can ask for Christmas, in that way too.
Also, sporting events, because we're sporting families. And there's definitely cost-effective ways to do sporting events. And I don't recommend it's not going to be cheap to go to a Chiefs game or a Dallas Cowboys game by any means, unless you want to take out of your 401k. But like things of just, you guys go to KU stuff a lot.
Yeah, this is the first season we didn't have season tickets since we moved here.
Oh, how did Mr. Tracy handle that?
Well, it was his idea too, but it became so since we moved here, that was always his Christmas present. He went in with a buddy and we split season tickets for home games and we split them and we draft and those were our date nights, our built-in date nights. We would go to dinner and we go to a KU game, which I absolutely love too. Like so much to the point that like even just the other night we were like, it's 8:00. I'm like, okay, I can stay up and watch the game, but we have to, we have to just keep doing it, even if it's watching it on TV, because it's like a ritual we've created for years now. But he had to give it up. We were struggling getting to the games with all of the kids' activities, and we would sell our tickets. And then we decided not to do it this year, even at all.
Had to give it up. He chose.
He did.
I mean, he made it. Which is, gosh, that's tough because you think too, when your kids are getting older and you have like,
he would take, this is another thing I need to tell you. One summer he did this. He made a point to do Royals games and took each of the kid one by one to a Royals game. So it was just dad, daughter, dad, son. So he hit like 4 games and then it was him and I, we went to one game. So he did 5 Royals games and he just looked them up, booked them, and then picked which one was going to go.
Yeah.
So he did that. It was one summer he made that happen.
That's fun. I think especially daddy-daughter dates, where it's just, hey, I'm going to just have that time with you and, because we're trying to keep our girls off the pole.
Yeah. Well, and I will just say to this too, that I can speak from both places in this of like having been in the season where we did give our kids all the things. And when we moved from Chicago to here, our housing market was very different back then, 9 years ago, 9.5 years ago. But selling our house in Chicago and moving here, we had a big house, we had a pool, like everything was great. And the kids did have a lot. And it was okay, but it didn't mean we didn't have our own troubles and our own struggles and just the like spoiled attitudes and all the things. And we just downsized this last year, and I have gotten rid of so much stuff, and it feels really good. It's also sad to like know that we collected all that, not even knowing stuff that we had, but the decluttering and simplifying, like it has brought so much peace and joy. It's not even funny. Like we are just together all the time now without crap. I mean, we still have plenty of stuff, but it's different. We all feel different. The rooms are easier to be picked up and cleaned because there's not as much junk in them. They're more organized. Like it really is a less is more. And when you're in it, I mean, how many of our friends are like, oh, I just wish I could declutter. I wish I could just have this picked up. I wish I could just clean this. Like we just have too much stuff.
Yes.
And we don't need it.
Yes.
But it's hard to move beyond it. So there's grace for that.
Yes. And which, I say that and I have 10,000 books in the house, but then I can't I can't get rid of a book. Yeah. That just seems wrong.
I know. I got rid of a lot before we moved. I saved a lot in our basement's not done. So I'm like, we're getting there. But once we go through all that, I'm like, am I going to save them in a library or am I just going to get rid of them? Because I'm definitely going to get rid of everything.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean, yes. And it's like, if it's put away long enough, Andrew and I were just discussing about redoing a room. And it's like sneaking out the children's art, right? Like you're having to smuggle it out of a country. Because what do you do with it? One of the things that I need to do is with Jay's last year of elementary school here, art projects are probably going to be done. And I just want to take pictures of all of them and just do a mix book or something,
that's what I did.
And just, hey, here are all of this. And then it's like these big versus like a tub that's that big. And then I'm like, maybe I should just do this with all of my stuff that I have saved because Lord knows I have a tote or two.
Or I have a couple totes too. And again, if anyone has advice on how to get rid of like your letter jacket, I don't want to get rid of my letter jacket. I know. Even my wedding dress, like moved that giant box and it's now at my in-laws because there's so much dust with our basement being finished. I'm like, I'm not getting rid of it, but I know my daughters are not going to wear that way.
Don't you know that? Yes, I know.
I don't know. There's just certain things you just can't part with. So if there's some of you out there that got some advice on how to get rid of some of those things, we'll take it.
Please do. Because, the girls saw our photo albums of our wedding for the first time, I guess, or recently, because we were looking for some friends that were in the wedding and so they're like, who's that? Who's that? What is this? And you don't realize, and you're like, but I have these pictures, and it was nice to flip through them because, scrolling my phone is not the same as flipping through pictures. I do. And I did last year. That was one of the things that I did. I made a scrapbook of some of the stuff that I did in 2024. And I just went through and printed all the photos, like I waited for a penny sale on Shutterfly to print 100 pictures for the girls, for them both to have, and they could do whatever they wanted with them. And, paper is still paper. It still beats everyday stuff. Well, I hope that you found, mamas, I hope you found this encouraging because this was not, like Tracy said, we have done this wrong. We live in a very spoiled area of Kansas. And so Lord knows that Tracy and I have played keeping up with the Joneses with our kids and with the stuff and with the accessories, as the ladies like to call it.
We definitely are right there. We're with you. If you're feeling guilty, don't. But if you do, we do the Target trips and the Starbucks runs and the Amazon add to carts. So we have our own problems. But we're like communicating this because sometimes when we're tired and we're worn out, it's easy to just be like, okay, fine. And then it sits after you've bought it and the kid played with it for 5 days or, something happened to it or it's broken or whatever. Like it's just, we get the feelings, we get the emotions behind it. And we just want to encourage just the thinking ahead and kind of going, okay, I'm not going to get this because, in 3 months, my kid's going to graduate and this is what I want to do with him or her. Or in, this summer, I want to make sure that we do this together. Like it does take some intentionality if it is something that is a financial strain.
Yes. Speaking of that, though, that reminds me, let's chat real briefly about our scooter stories.
Oh, ouch.
And she means that literally, you guys. So, well, start with yours, with G, because he had skin in the game. That was something literally because he wanted one of those
electric scooters. This is 2026. It was 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2024.
I remember.
So just a couple of years ago. And he had...
G is a little entrepreneur.
I was just going to say he was 11. So you're all going to laugh at but he has been working since he was 10. He's my third kid. He's been working since he was 10.
I have printed business cards for G more than any other child.
Yeah, he is definitely a worker. And he has a lot of money saved up, more money than any of my other children. And he begged and begged us to buy an electric scooter. And, that's the rage right now. And so we were like, he's the third kid. He is the one that's always on the go. He had a buddy just down the street. We're like, okay, he can pop over there, get himself around. He does his own. He does power washing of trash cans and like people's decks and all things. So it was like, okay, he can be snow removal. Like he can be mobile doing all of his little jobs. Like not a bad idea. So we were like, you know what? We're going to go in on this with you for your birthday and you're going to pay, 3/4 of it or a little bit under that. And we will pay the other quarter, a little bit over that. So we're like, we're going to make this happen. And it wasn't even 3 months later. Well, he'd been in multiple accidents already that year. He just was a little clumsy, I guess. Bad luck. But this one was 3 months after he had it. He was in a bad scooter accident. The concrete was cut out of a sidewalk and he was just riding it to go to the homecoming parade up at the high school with some friends or with a friend. And they went over the concrete and it cut off and he ran into the next one and went flying, broke his scooter in half and he broke his kneecap and was out for 12 weeks. And that was one of those things that was a mom and dad knew. We were like, we're not going to get him. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. And then we listened to all the, negotiations and all the thoughts. And, we made the decision. We thought it would be okay. And it was unfortunate. And that was his third cast. Well, he was in a brace for that, but he'd already had 2 casts that whole year. So it was just one of those things where we'd had a bad year. We made a bad decision and we had to deal with it. And I had to watch my son be in pain for a while and go through physical therapy and earn his way back. And would you believe he has asked us for more?
Oh, I'm sure.
The scooter, the electric bike, all the things. And we are like, this is a very resounding no.
Yeah.
No.
And I remember it because, it was that year. A short time after he had his accident. And then there was like a couple of these other stories of kids getting bad accidents around here, even some fatalities with some accidents of these electric scooters that are going 25 or 15, even 15.
And most not even wearing a helmet.
Yes.
Thank God my son was, by the way.
Yeah.
He had a bruise on his head and a scratch. His helmet was scratched. The plastic was scratched off. Whoa. Like he is so freaking lucky. Praise God. Praise God.
He is. And if he doesn't go into physical therapy, the world is...
I know. We've talked about it already. We'll see what he does.
You have so much experience. But... So it's, after Christmas. So everybody's coming out. We've had some beautiful weather here in Kansas. And so our girls have gotten to play outside and do the things. And wouldn't you know it, some neighbor kids have gotten electric scooters. And oh my gosh, my youngest, Jay, she wants one so bad. Mm-hmm. So bad. And we had about I would say probably 48 to 72 hours of her and I, after Andrew and I discussed, we were like, no, this is something that we are full stop on, not going to happen. No motorized way of motoration. What? No motorized.
Did you just say motoration?
I think I did. Gosh, guys.
That was good.
But anyway, yes, I like to make up words. So anyways, we were hard on that. That's what. So, and we thought we had gotten past that stage because we got bikes and, And then when your friends have something like that, you're like,
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, when we told her no, you would have thought we had told her that she was moving out. I mean, it was
Bye, we don't love you anymore.
Yeah. It's like it's the reel that says, like, Mom said she doesn't love me anymore. No, I just said I wasn't going to feed you a third dinner to the dog, like one of those faces. And but we had to keep explaining it. And she goes, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the whole thing. And just her, like, she's a saver. She knows how much money she has. And she's like, I'll pay for it. And I can do. And we're like, no, this isn't about like, we love you. This isn't about you. This is just a decision we made, and we've made it based on, we don't trust others in that. And then you'll love this. She tried to convince me that it was only boys that got into scooter accidents. She's like, I'm not stupid like boys.
Oh, dang.
Oh, and the girl had a point, because I got so far because I was trying to not convince her, but I was trying to explain to her. I'm like, look, this is about your safety. This is not about because I don't trust you. I think you are responsible. I think this, and they don't understand that, right? But I went and I Googled fatal scooter accidents, and I read through all these headlines on Google for her and just read them one after another. And when you start to do that, you're like, holy cow,
yeah, that's really sad.
Really sad. All of them were boys.
Yeah.
I had to search for girl to
start looking at car accidents.
Yeah.
Then there you go.
Yeah. I mean, but I had to, because that was in her mind. She was like, well, boys are reckless. I'm a girl. I was like, well, you're not completely wrong. That's true. And I know she's my cautious one. She's not my risk taker. So I was like, yeah, but I don't. Anyways, all that to say, it was a long 72 hours of trying to assure her that.
So you won the battle, right?
We did.
Good.
We did. We are not doing a motorized vehicle and motoration. No motoration in the Shire House until driver's licenses.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So but it's hard. I mean, when you're telling them no like that on something, and it's saying no in the uncomfortable and being like, no, this is a hard no. And just like, I mean, it just breaks your heart to see, like, it's something that, like she said, I'll pay for it. And when you're like, it's not about that.
It's about me being the adult and knowing what can happen.
Right. Yeah. Right. And seeing that.
And even though I knew, we still decided. And then.
Yeah. But again,
it's learning.
And you had great justification for it to happen. I mean, again.
It's a total accident.
And then a total accident. Right.
He
wasn't doing a trick.
Wrong.
He wasn't doing a trick. He wasn't being reckless. No. I mean, again, and that's what I had Tracy send me photos of G. And I said, please send me, because she needs to see what an accident on one of these things look like, because it's much different than a skimmed knee on.
Yeah.
Skid knee? What is
it?
Skinned. Thank you. Skinned knee from falling off a bicycle.
Some coffee?
It's possible. It's possible. Probably just a nap.
No, we learned
that's
this.
True.
No naps.
No naps. Dang you, Dr. Benjamin Long. I will never be able to let that go. Okay. Well, housewives, we hope that this was encouraging. We hope that this was that you saw where we fail all the time, and that we're not perfect at it either, that you're not alone, that your kid's not the only one without a scooter.
Yeah.
We both have. So there you go. 2 other families.
Well, and it's also too, like, we talked big things. We talked the vacations. We talked the items. We talked the possession. We talked the memories. It's like, what we want you to think about is what's the one thing that you want to do in the next week, in the next month, that just creates a memory and stronger relationship with you and a child, even you and your spouse. There's things that you can be doing that doesn't have to be extravagant, but it's intentional. And that's what we want to encourage.
And remember that you're doing better than you think, because God's using even the simple stuff.
Amen.
So until next time, housewives. Bye. Bye.
Whether we made you laugh or cry today, we pray you feel appreciated, bolder and braver than yesterday, stronger and more faithful for tomorrow, and living in who you were made to be today.
Join our online community on Facebook, link in the show notes, and be sure to review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you enjoy listening. Until next time, housewives, we give you permission to walk confidently, free, and to be intentional in your slippers or stilettos.